All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, trying to take weapons from officers, you could have ended up being on the news and your mom or dad would have been crying saying, the police killed my baby. What's going on? You're labeled as a habitual. You know what that means? On certain cases, your minimum will be 25 years in prison. Court is calling 2024 CR 007013, State of Texas versus Jacob Villalobos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harrison.
Defense?
Ray Lopez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Villalobos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel, you received all of the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Off the record for a moment. Excuse me, defense counsel. If you want to speak to your client, don't speak behind the court reporter. Ask the deputy to have them move to the end. We're back on the record. Mr. Villalobos, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Waiving the habitual offender enhancement allegation.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with the offense of attempting to take a weapon from a police officer. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villalobos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 18 months in the state jail facility, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Contained in Exhibit 1 attachment.
Any
No
objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
State, you may be excused.
Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent. Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Can someone tell me, because I'm reading in the stips that he was called for alleged family violence. Is there a family violence case out there somewhere on him?
I don't believe so, Judge.
Do you have a family violence case? All right. Who is Tiffany Lee Carlisle to you?
My ex.
All right. Do you all have any children together? All right. Court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Tiffany, Tiffany, Lee, Lee, Carlisle, Carlile. And no contact with Margie, Margi, Lou Munoz. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Trying to take weapons from officers, you could have ended up being on the news, and your mom or dad would have been crying saying, the police killed my baby. What's going on? You're not allowed to do that. If you would have just came outside and talked to them, you probably wouldn't even be here. You're labeled as a habitual. You know what that means? On certain cases, your minimum will be 25 years in prison. If you want to spend the rest of your life in prison, I'm sure Texas will accommodate you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you want to get more face tattoos, that may be limiting your job opportunities, but you're more than welcome to do so. It's a free country.
I'm fine with what I have now.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
State, are you aware of what's going on?
Yes, Judge, I've talked with more extensively about it. We've sort of come to an agreement to reinstate, and I don't know. He said he's spoken or been on the bonds with that they're willing to get back on the bonds or be on the bonds still. But one of the caveats was full GPS, and I think that might there were a little hiccup there. If you have she would have space that you stay in front.
So that is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And so the court is aware, and the information that defense counsel presented to me was there was an abusive relationship, and that then there was a mental health breakdown.
Yes, sir.
And
And I've had the documentation to show Jason as well on the dates.
all right. So you're asking that the bonds be reinstated and that should be placed on full GPS.
Yes, the only caveat, and Judge, we're just thankful that the court's giving us these moments. And so the only problem with the GPS is right now, she has an aunt and a grandmother in Kyle, Texas. She's been,
They will do GPS there.
that'll be good.
The order just has to be written a specific way.
That's the only issue because she doesn't have a place here,
All right.
not a secure place.
All right. Ms. Ferguson,
So,
on this case, recall this for the end of August. All right. We're going to be back. Recall August 27th.
yes, ma'am.
And counsel, you'll need to, we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 5961, 5962, 5963, 5964, 5965, State of Texas versus Marissa Magana. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
Anthony Zamora for Marissa Magana.
All right. And are you Magana?
Yes.
All right. And defense, we had a discussion off the record. Is the court's understanding in this, you're the attorney who's on the bonds?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that these bonds be reinstated?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the court did hear off record that there was an issue of an abusive relationship that Ms. Magana, I'm adding too many syllables,
All right.
Ms. Magana had to leave the residence for self-protection, that there was then mental health crisis, and that she was placed in a facility to address the mental health issue. And the defense has shown documentation to the state of that hospitalization. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then the defendant can no longer live where she is due to the abusive relationship. And she does have a place to stay, and that will be in Cal, Texas.
Yes.
All right. And the state is requesting that is in agreement to the bond being reinstated, but asking for full GPS.
Judge, we have no, at this point, we have no objections to anything. I don't know if she's gonna be able to seek employment or what. I guess we can always address the court.
All right, this is what the court will do. Court will follow your agreement, reinstate the bond in each case is at the request of the bondsman, which is defense counsel. The defendant will be placed on partial GPS, and the partial GPS will be for medical appointments only. If there is employment, she'll have to approach at another time to address that. And State, do you have any objection to partial GPS for the medical appointments?
No, Your Honor, the only concern was that I believe that this individual had cut off a previous GPS device, and that's why we asked for the GPS.
All right. And Ms. Magana, the only reason why, well, one of the reasons why I'm reinstating and placing you back on GPS, because normally people who cut off their monitors, we next hear from them at the jail. The only reason why this is being done is because the court is aware and your counsel has presented documentation of the mental health crisis and because of this relationship. You understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
So do not remove the GPS monitor again, okay?
I understand. I
If
won't.
if there's a crisis, you need to pick up the phone, call your attorney, call someone
I
so they can give
understand.
you guidance.
I understand. I made a report to the police as well for the sexual assault.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can give them a reset date for August 27th. And counsel, you're going to need to prepare that motion for me to sign. They don't have B pages anymore.
Okay, the motion to reinstate? I don't think it was,
Yeah, just put on there reinstate bond,
okay,
agreed order, reinstate bond. And you'll need to do the partial GPS in there.
okay.
And that the defendant is allowed to reside in Kyle, Texas. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
Judge, I just want to
Thank you.
point out, I'm only showing a warrant on one case. That's the case ending in 6-1.
All right, well, I will put it on that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Court is calling 2024 CR 6514, State of Texas versus Ruben Solano. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harrison,
Defense?
Deborah Burp, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Solano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the discovery counsel with your client and have you received it all from the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Solano, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solano, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solano, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, your community service is to be for a term of 3 years. There's to be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Into the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
And an exhibit attachments, Your Honor.
No objection.
State you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I hope you follow our plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right. When's the last time you had employment?
I was almost self-employed, so I work for myself.
Doing what?
I do, I'm a jack of all tradesmen. I do plumbing,
Well, do you have a license to do plumbing?
no, ma'am, I sure don't.
All right, so you
Yeah.
need to work on that
Yes, ma'am. So,
because then that means that you're dependent on people just calling you instead of a plumber
Yeah.
calling you.
okay.
How far did you go in school?
9th grade.
Why?
I had a kid at 14 years old, so I had to drop out of school and start working.
And when's the last time you saw your child?
My child, been like 3 months, 4 months,
Okay. And how old is your child?
7 months. So 7-month-old baby right now.
Well, wait.
What about?
My 20-year-old.
14.
Oh, yes.
It's like
No, I'm talking about now. I'm talking about.
something's wrong with the time.
No, I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen my child like forever.
All right, so now you have a 7-month-old.
Yes, I'm a 7-month-old baby. Yes,
And who does the 7-month-old live with?
with his mother.
All right. And who do you live with?
I live with my grandma.
All right. Everybody always wants to put a bunch of problems on their grandmothers.
No,
You're an adult. Get a job.
I know.
You know, live by yourself. Your grandmother just wants to be a grandmother.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Your Honor.
All right. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years. $2,000 fine. That'll be probated. You're going to get employment. Not this, I'm just a handyman. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Handyman is supposed to be
Like
a side job. You have your regular job and that's for extra income. So there's to be proof of employment within 30 days of release.
gonna be in jail for a minute.
All right. Well, I see in jail for a minute.
It's an assault case, not indicted.
All right. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. We'll do the TAP evaluation in custody.
Okay.
Follow recs. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be 120 sober days. I'm sorry, 120 sober meetings in 120 days upon release.
Excuse, will you repeat that just so I can understand?
120 sober meetings and 120 days upon release from custody. There's to be 150 community service hours. 50 of those hours will be waived upon completion of parenting classes. The remaining 100 hours will be waived if you obtain a trade school certificate or obtain your GED. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months upon release from custody.
That means a home visit
Yes,
once a month for 6 months.
yes. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Oh, thank you. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And we're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Sure.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, we can go off the record. To be successful in this court on probation, communication is key. If you feel as though you're going to use, don't sit at your house and just think, oh, I'm just going to see what happens. Pick up the phone, call probation, say, I'm struggling right now. They'll get you the help you need. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court and I'll address it. Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Ruben Solano pleaded no contest to possession of a controlled substance and received 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended for 3 years of probation, a $2,000 probated fine.
Court is calling 2022 CR 2751, State of Texas versus Jocelyn Chapa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Engineer Saleman.
Defense?
Megan Enriquez, present for John Coons for Jocelyn Chapa.
And are you Ms. Chapa?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I believe Mr. Coons has reviewed and signed it.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Chapa, that you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney. Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, you're going to have to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
I believe she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Chapa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking into consideration 2022 CR 2752. There's to be restitution, if any, and 2022 CR 2752 to Derek Wilson. And there's to be restitution for drug testing to SAPD. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Derek Wilson. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Yes. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court would defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just briefly, Your Honor, we, on behalf of Mr. Coons, we'd respectfully ask the court to follow the agreement that Mr. Coons reached with the state in her case. And additionally, she resides in Amarillo, which I believe is Potter County. So we would
I'm
respectfully.
sorry, which county?
Potter.
Okay.
We'd respectfully ask the court to transfer her supervision to Potter County if it is granted.
All right, do you have any children?
I do.
How many?
2 in Potter County.
And what are their ages?
23 months and 9 months.
All right, so why are you down here using meth when you have children?
That was back in 21 when I was using. I have not used since then. I've been clean, and it's been already 26 months that I've been sober.
Is Child Protective Services involved?
At this point, I don't think so, Your Honor, and that is something Mr. Coons did share with me, that she has been sober for almost 2 years. This case, the offense date of this case was, I think, about 3 years ago. And when she was arrested up in Amarillo, Mr. Coons got her brought to court as soon as she got to Bear County.
All right, and who has been taking care of the children?
They're dead.
And who is their father?
Matthew Laureano.
All right, you keep whispering. When people are in public, they don't whisper, but then when they come up here, they whisper. If you want me to hear your story, you have to speak up. Otherwise, I don't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So who are the children with?
Their father,
And who is their father?
Matthew Laureano.
And when's the last time you had employment?
I've been a stay-at-home mom since I've had my 2 kids.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's a $2,000 fine. That will be probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2022 CR 2752. Restitution, if any, and 2022 CR 2752. To Derek Wilson. Restitution for drug testing to SAPD. There's to be no contact with Derek Wilson or Jeremy Joe Alcaraz. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. She can transfer to Potter County. I'm going to require field visits. I don't know what's happening with the children or what's going on. So I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, that will be deemed satisfied. How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
All right, what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? I know you say you're a stay-at-home mom, but when there's an empty nest and they start school, what are you doing? Because at some point they're going to start school.
Yeah. Well, I was going to school for accounting. That's what I enjoyed doing.
All right. Well, let me do this. Probation. I will deduct 100 hours of community service restitution upon completion of parenting classes. And then the other 100 hours we waived if she could obtain some sort of trade school certification. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to be required to do parenting classes. As far as the trade school certification, you can do that or do the community service hours. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else?
Judge, are you making her get a job at this point or no?
Well, I know that childcare is expensive.
Right.
And she's saying she's a stay-at-home mom, but I do have concerns for the children. I know she's telling me that she's clean, but since she's not going to be here in Bexar County, I can't do the testing the way I normally would do it. So that's why I'm just going to want them to do those field visits one time per month until further notice. All right, thank you. There'll be 120 sober support meetings and 120 days, and they actually do those online. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Oh, she just wanted to share with the court that the reason she moved to Amarillo is because the people that she was associated with in San Antonio, that's when she was using, and she doesn't have the same friends and
Yeah.
associates in Amarillo.
We moved to Amarillo and that's why I got clean and I
All
stayed
right.
away. That's,
All right, well, I'm glad you found a way to be sober.
stay
All
away
right.
from here.
Okay, all right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. In this court, to be successful, communication is key. If there's an issue, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
This hearing involved several Texas criminal cases, but the most striking moments centered on plea agreements, probation, and the court's emphasis on accountability. In Jacob Villalobos' case, he pleaded no contest to attempting to take a weapon from a police officer and received 18 months in the state jail facility, with credit for time served. The judge strongly warned him about the potentially life-changing consequences of confronting armed officers and reminded him that habitual offender status can carry extremely severe prison penalties. In Ruben Solano's case, a possession charge resulted in a 2-year state jail sentence suspended for 3 years of probation, along with treatment, sobriety meetings, community service, and employment requirements. Jocelyn Choa received 5 years of deferred adjudication after pleading no contest to possessing 1 to 4 grams of a controlled substance. The court emphasized rehabilitation, ordering sobriety meetings, parenting classes, community service, drug testing, and monthly field visits because of concerns involving her young children. Legally, these hearings demonstrate how Texas courts can use plea agreements and community supervision to balance punishment with rehabilitation, while also making clear that violating probation conditions can lead to serious consequences. The judge repeatedly stressed one key principle: communication with probation and compliance with court orders can be critical to successfully completing supervision.